Hey folks, welcome back to LeafGreen vs. Blue. We're here in the Saffron City Gym, and we are taking on the gym leader, Sabrina. Now, I've edited this video in a way that I don't usually edit these videos. Normally I will alternate between LeafGreen and Blue for each opponent, so that you can see each opponent's corresponding counterpart right next to each other. But in order to demonstrate something, I've decided to include all of the LeafGreen fight, and then all of the Blue fight. And that demonstration is that Dux is incredibly powerful and cannot be stopped. Dux has Sword Stance and Agility at this point in time, and is holding a stick, which increases critical hit ratio. So, basically with one Sword Stance and one Agility, Dux will outspeed everything, and basically one-shot everything, if I'm not mistaken, possibly two-shot. And none of the opponents will get a hit in. That Kadabra had some opportunities, but didn't take those opportunities. And everything else is just falling to the ground, dying a painful but swift death. Yeah, we've one-shot her entire team so far, and the last member, Alakazam, generally considered a pretty formidable opponent, one of the most strongest Pokemon. It's down, it's done, it's dead. It's fainted, it's gone forever. Don't worry about it. So, if anyone ever tries to tell you that Farfetch'd is a joke, or weak, or a loser, kick them. Kick them in the shins. Because it's not true. Anyway, the Blue fight takes a little longer, so I'm gonna go into a little more detail about how the whole thing works. The big thing to keep in mind in Blue version is that the special stat governs both offense and defense for the opponents, and all of these opponents have pretty darned decent special stats. Kadabra has 120 base special, which for a second stage evolution is freaking ridiculous, by the way. And that means really your best option for taking out these opponents is using physical moves, because they have weaker physical defense. That's especially the case with Kadabra and Alakazam, which we will see a little bit later, because they both have Recover, and if you take longer to take them out, which you will if you're using special moves, they can recover back, and that's really annoying. Brought in Vincent against Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime's thing is putting up Barrier and Light Screen, which again reduces the amount of damage that you can do to it. So I brought in Toxic so that it will just steadily die, and I won't have to worry about those barriers being put in place. It's interesting, it has Barrier and Light Screen, rather than Reflect and Light Screen, which means that when it raises its physical defense with Barrier, that buff doesn't get transferred to other Pokemon. So if you faint it, that defensive buff isn't carried along. Light Screen, on the other hand, is a time-based thing, so it will fade after 5 turns, but it will last even after Mr. Mime is gone. I'm using a lot of special moves against these Pokemon, and I don't think I thought it all the way through. Venomoth here, well, obviously I have to go for the mirror match. That is, that's in my contract. And Venomoth, it's not actually a Psychic type Pokemon, it's Bug Poison. So my own Venomoth with Psybeam can be super effective against it, but of course, her Venomoth is super effective against mine. But mine is better. I mean, I probably have some defensive EVs or whatever they're called in Gen 1. I think they're called something else, I don't remember. whereas she doesn't. So that's why I was able to take those Psybeams from her better than she could take mine. Unfortunately, confusion, still a thing, still an issue. Now again, Venomoth actually pretty decent special, 90 base special, so a ground type move may be a better option because those are physical. This confusion's getting on my nerves. Overall, Psybeam is the only direct damage move from this Venomoth that you need to worry about. It has Poison Powder and Stun Spore, which can be annoying. And Leech Life, which don't even care. Doesn't matter. And her last Pokemon is Alakazam. Now, in a small bit of mercy, this Alakazam doesn't actually have Psychic. It has Psybeam and Psywave, which is weird because the Kadabra had Psychic. But it does have Reflect and it does have Recover, so it wants to make things harder for you. It wants to be able to persist as long as possible and do a lot of damage, which is 135 base special. You're definitely going to want to use physical moves. Here I am using Leech Life. It's not great. We're going to need a little something a little more powerful. Let's see what we got in store. Yeah, Katrina will do it. So Katrina does have physical moves in her arsenal. We'll see if they're enough to kind of outdamage the Recover. Oh, that was a critical, so they're not even comparable. This is the difficulty with Alakazam, is that if you don't have something strong enough to cause a lot of damage to it, it can recover back. And when you are at a 6th level deficit like I am, that's a problem. Again, small mercies here. The critical hits that I'm occasionally getting do bypass the Reflect that he has set up. So those will inflict more damage than you might expect based on the damage you're doing with a normal hit. And that's another reason to maybe go in with something with Slash, with a high critical hit ratio, because that means you will be more likely to bypass that Reflect. I could have brought in Screech, and just lowered its defense all the way, and then the Reflect would only be making a marginal difference, and I could probably one-shot it, but I didn't do that. Hey, how about Ducks? Why not Ducks? I wonder if Ducks could have done the same thing in this version, because he does have Agility and Swords Dance in this version as well. No stick, but still. But anyway, Ducks is the victor for both versions here. Do not underestimate the Ducks. And that is the Saffron City Gym Leader. One of the toughest, I would say, but we still have many challenges yet to come. So, thanks for watching, and I will see y'all next time.